Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking TVL. Let's cut straight to the chase here, people. Last night or yesterday, I told you that I would give you my review of the Back to the Future musical. 5-star performance, people. I did not know what to expect by any means, but I can easily say that out of the 2 years that I've been attending these Broadway Theater League shows that come to Huntsville at the Mark C. Smith Hall, to be exact, this was by far my favorite. Okay, visually captivating, the songs catchy, the dancing impeccable, acting wonderful. It truly made me want to get out of my seat and shake my tail feather, but out of respect for the people that sat behind me, I chose to stay seated. I did. But needless to say, don't walk, run to get your ticket to go see Back to the Future, the musical. It is going to be in town until this Sunday, October 5th, so make plans to attend. It was truly, truly, truly amazing. And speaking of yesterday, we did have an amazing show. One guest that we had was Chef Wally from the Tiny Jerk Spot. He came and cooked up some amazing Caribbean food for us, and I have the video for you right here, so take a look.
We know is full of flavor, but today we're getting a taste of the islands. Chef Wally from the Tiny Jerk Spot is here now in the TVL kitchen, sharing how he turned his dream into reality and brought bold Caribbean dishes right to the heart of Rocket City. Chef Wally, this smells amazing, my guy, and you whipped this up fast, let me just say. You got here, again, a short while ago and cooked this up. First, you got to tell me your background, your culture. What have you since brought to Huntsville with the Tiny Jerk Spot?
Well, originally from the Virgin Islands, and grew up in Philly with a passion of cooking.
Yeah.
I got to Huntsville and I realized this is the place to be in. Sorry to say it, but there's a lot of places that I couldn't get authentic Caribbean food. So magic in the fingers and a little dream and a little prayer. Decided to start cooking for family and friends. Got a great review and people started talking. I thought about it and I reached out to who I need to and we started. Eventually we got a food truck, got a catering business going, and the rest is on the plate.
So crazy how you start out and then you're like, wait, we got something here. And the rest of the valley needs to have it. And you've since created this. Okay, so you've brought a taste of your signature dishes here. Tell me what you whipped up this morning and how you did it, because this is smelling good.
Well, in the lieu of time, usually we do jerk chicken and have an extensive menu, but today we kept it simple. We have an amazing trout, fried trout today.
Amazing.
Seasoning is great. The seasoning is actually local from Huntsville. We get it out of Gurley. So it's an amazing seasoning. And for the vegans, the people who don't, we cook a nice mushroom medley with potatoes, onions, all the good stuff. A little bit of coconut milk.
Beautiful. That's something else that people don't realize. You do offer kind of vegan, vegetarian options. So many spices. It smells so amazing. Yes. You guys, again, known for this. Obviously, your Tiny Jerk chicken as well. We also got to talk red beans and rice, because that's a big Caribbean dish.
Oh, I must say it's addictive, so be careful. The red beans and rice is amazing. We do everything from scratch. The recipe is unique to just the Tiny Jerk Spot, and we love to share it. People love it. It's a must-have on the truck. Okay,
you don't want to share too many details, but you did bring some, I think, over here, right? We've got some kind of rice cooked up. How long does this process take, Chef Wally?
Honestly, when we get hungry, dinner needs to be served ASAP. We have children, we have working families, you want to eat. So about 8 to 15 minutes, the rice process is completely done. Now, there's a recipe behind the rice, so you have to cut up your onions, your peppers, and your zoom zooms and wham whams and all the good stuff.
Yes. All right, so should we plate it up? That's something else too. Again, you've got rice here, you got beans. I'm gonna go ahead and take a scoop, Chef Wally, while I do that. Do you have, I feel like you could just eat this by itself, right?
Yes,
is that what you often do, or do you have it as a side dish?
Well, it's a side dish. A lot of people get it by itself. It pairs well with the jerk chicken, the ribs, the pulled pork. And it's fast to make.
Should we come over here and plate everything? This trout smells amazing. Yes. So again, tell us one more time, you're primarily there on the food truck. What does it look like? Can people book you for private events? Do you set up camp, kind of one special spot around the valley? Where can we find you?
Usually there's a place called Mad Malls that we cater for. We're there most of the time, so we do private catering. Through our website, you can reach out. And it is pretty simple, but we do every event. We go to schools, we go to,
This looks amazing. Can we feast our eyes on this, you guys? So amazing. Chef Wally, this smells incredible. And really, again, just a taste of another culture. How often you go back to the islands? You make a trip back there? You got family there still?
Yes, we have family there. Was there a few years ago. We go back and forth quite a few. But mainly we're here in Huntsville. And we try to focus on this out.
Yeah, well, it is so
Yes.
fantastic, again, how you've put it together. Chef Wally, thank you for coming on, bringing a
Thank
taste
you.
of your heritage here. I can already
Quite
tell
welcome.
it is absolutely amazing. Tell us one more time, Tiny Jerk Spot, where we can follow along again, where you set up camp, and where we can keep up with where you're going to be around the valley.
So on Instagram, we're the Tiny Jerk Spot. All the information is on their phone number. Also on TikTok, I'm at Chef Wally 1. You could also reach us at Mad Malts, and appreciate it.
Yeah, so excited. Chef Wally, thank you again. You got lunch for us here, and we're so grateful for it. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you. We'll have to have you back in the kitchen again soon. Thanks,
Absolutely.
my guy.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have Chef Wally come back and join us in the TVL kitchen. Again, that food was quite literally amazing. Tiny Jerk Spot here in Huntsville. Make sure you guys find him and go support the food truck. All right, today on TVL, Maple Hill Cemetery. It is that time of year again because it is October 1st. They're discussing their 2025 Maple Hill Cemetery Stroll, scheduled for Sunday, October 19th at 1:30. Family-free event. They've got over 70 costumed characters that are going to be telling stories relevant to the history of our town here in Huntsville. And I will say this event, I mean, yes, it is held at a cemetery. However, they do want to let you know it is not spooky or scary. It is literally an informative time. Dress up, learn about the history of Huntsville. I think it's a pretty cool event. I have yet to attend, but maybe this year I will make plans to do so. But we will hear from two of the representatives today in studio, and then we're going to hop on Zoom to meet with Kelly Kasich, discussing the release of her latest book, Some Nightmares Are True, Ghost Stories of America's Deadliest Disasters. I'm excited to hear about this book. I have currently been on, I used to be a bookworm and then I retired, but something has reawakened my book loving feelings, okay? So I'm currently reading Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Pretty good. I've read Verity by Colleen Hoover, and then I've read Housemaid, all both within 48 hours. It was great. So I hopefully will be able to add this to my list of books to read next. Again, that is going to be a conversation happening around 11:15-ish today on the show. So make sure you're tuned in at 11 to catch both the Maple Hill Cemetery Stroll and then our Zoom conversation with Miss Kelly. And before I let you go, I do have some fun Peyton content for you all. Check out the time where she went up in the air with the Army Golden Knights.
If you've ever dreamed of joining an Army parachute team, yours truly is living a day in the life. The Golden Knights toured the country essentially doing PR for the armed forces, and their in-flight displays are one of a kind.
The Army Golden Knights, our primary mission is to be ambassadors of the Army and kind of bridge the gap between the United States Army and the American public. So these events are great for us because we get to fly our parachutes in the air. We get to do two things that we love, which is one, skydive, and two, be a part of the United States Army.
But first, a jaw-dropping performance like this one all starts with a dry run on the ground.
Okay, ready, set, go.
Gold in the black, watch there, never back. Boom! The Golden Knights, Gold Team Hill!
Woo! Woo! All right, we're going up. I'm a little nervous. We're gonna see how it goes. Right this way. Oh, thank you. What service? Let's go! If you were thinking this was a normal plane, think again.
So this is our, we call it our Dash 8 aircraft. This is one of 5 aircraft that the Army parachute team have. But this airplane right now, this is kind of our home. You know, we travel all across the country in this thing, and we jump out of the same airplane.
A plane feeling like home and teammates feeling like family certainly eases any pre-flight stress. And when you throw in your favorite hype song, takeoff feels like a breeze. Once in the air, the biggest challenge is reaching 12,000 feet and making sure wind conditions are safe enough for jumpers to land. So you kind of check it like a watch to see like where you are?
So it'll show up right here as we climb, it'll start going. So it just lets us know how high we are. And all of us have one, and we also have one in our ear. That'll tell us, it'll start beeping at certain altitudes. And then the people on the smaller parachutes, we have our altitude set a little bit higher than everyone else's. Okay. We do a big turn that makes us drop a lot of altitude. It's a discipline called swooping. Okay. So you basically angle your parachute down to the ground and you're spiraling, and then you plane out across the ground. Crazy.
Once all is a go, it's time to jump.
All right, here we go! Go!
Okay, they truly look like they were having a blast. I would love to be able to experience something as fun as this, though I will say I have skydived before and I do want to do it again. But yes, again, that is the United States Army's Golden Knights. They do an amazing job, very talented, very gifted. So super cool that Peyton got to go up there with them and just see what they do. You know, with a front row view. Amen. But that's it. That's all I've got for you today on Talking TVL. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to watch the show at 11 a.m. today and then join me again tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another episode of Talking TVL.